All right, I'm here with Bill once again.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Yep, good to see you. We're at Harry's Coin Shop, and this is Bill's picks for the week. So take me through what you got down here.
Yeah, so this week I went full historical. It's not really thematic so much as I picked some coins that had cool stories.
Okay, cool stories. So what do you want to start with?
Here we have a Russian 5 ruble, and this is graded MS66 by NGC. That very high numerical grade is why it's priced so high above bullion. By 1909, Nicholas II, he's going to be the last Tsar of Russia, already reeling from loss in the Russo-Japanese War, from various peasant revolts and the so-called Bloody Sunday. Not that far from entering World War I, which would be sort of the last straw. But there on the back, you see the double-headed Imperial Eagle. And this was struck at the St. Petersburg Mint. It's the third to last year these were struck, and it's a somewhat lower mintage than some of the earlier ones. Again, that's why the price is significantly higher than you would expect for the bullion.
Yeah, well, it still is a very cool piece of gold.
Yeah, it's extremely historical, and he was actually cousins with the King of England at the time, which, if you're familiar with the portraitures of like Edward and George V coins, you see the family resemblance.
He's got that beard.
Yep.
Is this like a 90% gold coin, probably?
Correct.
Really interesting piece. All right, so we got a Russian 5 ruble, and that's the only gold, it looks like, in the lot.
One of the ones I picked was Constantius I. This is the father of Constantine. This is issued with him as Caesar. He was one of the 2 Augustuses appointed by Diocletian. What's interesting about this one is that on the reverse you have Juno Moneta with the scales. This is the patron goddess of Rome. She's also where we get the term money, or in Spanish, moneda for coin. The original Roman coins were minted in her temple on Capitol Hill. She's the Roman equivalent of the Greek Hera. I think she's siblings with Neptune and Jupiter and Pluto, and the mother of Mars and Vulcan and some other important deities. So basically, the reason I found this coin interesting is that it's a coin with the goddess on it. That's the origin of our word for money and the Spanish word for coin. So another thing about Constantius is a lot of people maybe think, because of our modern views of monarchy, that everything about the Roman emperors was a hereditary, like royalty, but that wasn't the case. He was actually started off as a common soldier and worked his way up through the ranks and then was appointed. And that was the case in a lot of the later emperors. They started off as military men, as commoners. And then Galerius also was the other Augustus appointed by Diocletian at the same time period as Constantius, the other coin. And this one also has Juno Moneta on the reverse.
Oh, yeah. Wow, let me get a good look at that. Kind of getting the glare. There we go. Wow, that one is actually appears to be...
Very clear portrait, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe it's less worn than the other one.
Yeah, they're both great. They both have great hair details for a coin of that age, and beard details.
Gorgeous. Those are beautiful. And are these, wasn't able to tell, are they bronze or silver, or what type of metal?
Yeah, those are bronze, and the AA is the traditional numismatic designation for that. Yeah, so this is the oldest one. This is from around 350 BC, Eleusis, which was a demos of Athens. That far back might have been considered a separate municipality, eventually got absorbed. And this has Triptolemos, one of their gods of agriculture. You can't see it very well. He's seated there, though. And then on the other side, there is actually a hog or a pig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so or a boar. He was one of the important deities in the Eleusinian mystery cults, which was like sort of their agricultural ceremonies. And another thing about Triptolemos is that he was considered the ancestor of Pericles, and was an important figure in Greek history. And he appears here on this modern Greek coin, this 20 drachma from 1976.
So they were related in some way?
Yeah, so a lot of the Greek gods were purported to be ancestors of their prominent citizens. They had sort of a different view of deity than we do, as something that's like, can't have mortal offspring and things like that.
So it's kind of all made up.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so tell me about these last 3.
So here I've got a coin from the Crusader states in Antioch, and that's Bohemond IV. He also ruled in Tripoli, and you can see the armored head on the front.
Yeah.
And this was one of the Frankish Crusader states in what was formerly the Byzantine Empire, had been conquered by the Muslims and then reconquered by some of the Frankish and Norman Crusaders. Of course, you got the cross on the reverse.
Oh, that is cool.
And these were hand hammered. And you see the denomination is a dinar or a dinar. And that is an etymological descendant of the Roman denarius.
That's a really cool piece. I like that one. That might be my favorite so far.
And then the other one, I do have a denarius of the Roman Empire, like their main like base unit sort of everyday trade coin. And that's from Caracalla as Augustus. On the reverse, you have the text Rector Orbis, and you have him standing with a spear holding a globe, and that is Latin for basically master of the world. And he did, in fact, try to invade Parthia and bring the whole known world under the Roman Empire, basically, and was not successful in that, but nonetheless, he's portrayed as the master of the world there. And another thing about Caracalla is that he was the first emperor to give Roman citizenship to all free men in the empire, which was, you would think, be a more revolutionary and historical thing, but Richard's throwing money around.
Richard, what are you doing?
So, and you read in the book of Acts, how like the centurion says to Paul, with a great sum I obtained this freedom, and Paul says, but I was born free. Roman citizenship was historically a great privilege, and he extended it to all free men in the empire.
Wow, that's very cool. Now, are these both silver coins?
Yeah, these are both silver coins. The denarius has had various purities of silver over time, depending largely on the state of the empire and how bad they needed money. So
you want one of the earlier ones to have more silver in it.
Usually that's the case.
As they went down and made more over the years, less and less silver.
Yeah, by the end, it's basically bill on, and then, almost no silver content.
Right. Very cool. And what's this last one here?
So this is a colonial piece from Essequibo and Demerara under George III. And what you'll notice about this is it has a Dutch denomination on a British coin. And that is because these islands in between Guyana and Venezuela were Dutch for hundreds of years, small Dutch agricultural colonies. And at one point they were destroyed by French pirates. And there's a long and interesting history there, but it came under British control for a while during the Napoleonic period. Venezuela ended up making claims on them at a later point, and the U.S. actually sort of helped arbitrate that, and they did settle it on the British side.
It almost looked like it said one silver. I mean,
one stiver.
Yeah, I see the T, but I mean, for a second there, I was like, whoa, one silver? That's a cool piece. Wow. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I think it's awesome that you have different picks every single week, and people can come in and see what you picked. I like that this one has a bunch of stories associated with it. So I have to say, job well done, Bill.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah.